Hello, grade 7 students. This is a new mathematics lecture, and the title of our lesson is Signed Numbers, Multiplication and Division. What are the objectives of our lesson? Objective number 1, apply rules of multiplication of signed numbers. Number 2, apply rules of division of signed numbers. Number 3, use rules of order of operations to calculate a numerical value or a numerical expression, which we call the PEMDAS. Signed numbers, multiplication, and division. First, I will start with the rules of multiplication of signed numbers. So we will recognize and apply rules of multiplication of integers or signed numbers. Always to multiply two integers or two signed numbers, we have steps. I will have number 1 times number 2. So how should I multiply? Number 1 has a sign and number 2 has a sign. So I start multiplying sign times sign, then I multiply number times number. How do we multiply signs? There are rules to multiply signs. Always, whenever we multiply a positive with a positive, our answer will be positive. A negative with a negative, our answer will be also positive. So as you can see, if I am multiplying numbers having same signs, always my answer has a positive sign. If I multiply a positive with a negative or a negative with a positive, my answer sign will be negative. So multiplying numbers with different signs is always negative. Let me give you examples. Positive 3 times positive 5. I say positive times positive is positive. 3 times 5 is 15. Negative 2 times negative 6. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 6 is 12. Negative 4 times 1. The sign of 1 is positive. So I say negative times positive is negative and 4 times 1 is 4. Now 9 times 4, positive times positive is positive. 9 times 4 is 36. Negative 7 times negative 3. Negative times negative is positive. 7 times 3 is 21. 10 times negative 5. So I start positive times negative is negative and 10 times 5 is 50. Let's practice this exercise together. We should calculate negative 2 times negative 6. So I say positive times, negative times negative is positive and 2 times 6 is 12. Now we have 9 times negative 3. Positive times negative is negative, and 9 times 3 is 27. Negative 6 times 5. Negative times positive is negative, and 6 times 5 is 30. 8 times 3. Positive times positive is positive, and 8 times 3 is 24. Now we have three numbers multiplied together. Negative 2 times negative 5 times 7. It's easier when we multiply many signed numbers together. We say, how many negatives do we have in this expression? We have 1, 2. 2 is even or odd? It's even. If the number of negatives in the expression is even, so my answer should be positive, and we multiply all the numbers. 2 times 5 is 10, times 7 is 70. Now 5.7 times negative 1, positive times negative is negative. 5.7 times 1 is 5.7. Now we have 9 times 3 times negative 5. Many numbers multiplied together. How many negatives do we have? We have 1. So since 1 is odd, my answer will be negative, and I multiply 9 times 3 times 5, so it's negative 135. Now, negative 3 times 2 times 9, always we have 1 negative, so my answer will be negative since 1 is odd, and I multiply 3 times 2 times 9, which is 54. Now I have 6 times negative 3 times 5 times negative 1. How many negatives do I have? I have 2 negatives. 2 is even, so my answer will be positive, and I multiply all the numbers. Finally, also I have 2 negatives. Then, since 2 is even, my answer will be positive, and I multiply the three numbers together. These are the rules of multiplication of integers or signed numbers. Now, rule number 2, how we will recognize and apply rules of division of integers. To divide two integers, also we have steps. We divide sign by sign, then number by number. What are the rules of division of integers? Positive divided positive is positive. Negative divided negative is positive. Also, whenever we divide two like signs or two similar signs, always my answer is positive. When we divide different signs, positive divided negative or negative divided positive, always my answer is negative. As you can see, negative can be, division can be expressed in two ways. We can write a number divided a number or a number over a number. So if we write it in this way or as a fraction, both mean we are dividing numbers. For example, positive 20 divided 5. Positive divided positive is positive. 20 divided 5 is 4. Negative 25 divided negative 5. Negative divided negative is positive. 25 divided 5 is 5. 30 divided negative 10. Positive divided negative is negative. 30 divided 10 is a 3. Also, if we have negative 48 over 8, I say negative over positive is negative. 48 over 8 is 6. Negative 9 over negative 5. Negative divided negative is positive, and I write 9 over 5. We can divide 9 over 5 using a calculator to get a decimal number. Let's practice. Negative 32 over 4. So I say negative over positive is negative. 32 over 4 is 8. Negative 35 over negative 5. Negative over negative is positive. 35 over 5 is 7. 2 over 5, positive over positive is positive, and 2 divided 5 on the calculator is 0.4. Positive 3 over negative 10. Positive over negative is negative, and 3 over 10 is 0.3. Now, 25 divided how much equal 5? Equal minus 5. Since my answer is negative, I'm dividing a positive over negative to give negative. 25 divided negative 5 is negative 5. Now, a number divided negative 4 equal negative 7. So my answer is negative, and I'm dividing over negative. So this number should be positive. 28 divided negative 4 is negative 7. Negative 90 over negative 9. Negative over negative is positive. 90 over 9 is 10. Negative 77 over how much equal negative 11? Of course, over 7. Now, how much over negative 6 equals 6? Negative 36 over negative 6 is equal to 6. Now, how can we apply PEMDAS on a numerical expression? As you know, the rules of PEMDAS, if we have an expression with parentheses is the strongest, then exponent, then multiplication and division, then addition and subtraction. For example, 3 times parentheses 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 is between parentheses, so I start with its answer first. What's 5 plus 2? It's 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. Negative 4 times parenthesis 7 minus 9. Parenthesis is the strongest, so I write negative 4 times. What is 7 minus 9? It's negative 2. Now I have multiplication of two signed numbers. Negative times negative is positive, and 4 times 2 is 8. Now let's look at this expression. In this expression, I have times, I have parentheses, division, times, and brackets. For me, brackets is the strongest. Brackets, we deal them as if we are dealing with parentheses. So first, I should get rid of the brackets. If I look inside the brackets, I have subtraction and parentheses. Who's the strongest? It's parentheses. So I write all the expression as it is. Brackets, 5 minus, what's 8 minus 6? It's 2. Now, inside the brackets, I have 5 minus 2, which the answer is a 3. Now, in this expression, parenthesis here is the strongest, so 6 minus 4 is 2. Now I have multiplication and division. I start from left. What's minus 3 times 2? It's minus 6 divided negative 2 times 3. Also, I start from left. Negative 2 divided negative 6 divided negative 2 is a 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So this was the lesson that we started last week, the multiplication and division of signed numbers. Please watch the video well, and if you have any question, contact me on WhatsApp. Thank you.